The human and technological wreckage of a collapsing Scientology is beginning to emerge in a very striking and real way. The evidence that we had entered the edge of the debris field is undeniable. The evidence of collapse is strewn across the internet landscape, in the media, and in Scientology itself. This is the real thing, for we see real people, the actual elites, the technological debris, and the hard, factual evidence of a collapse in progress. Consider the evidence that we had entered the edge of the debris field of a collapsing Scientology. C org who had blown from in base, flag, and class B orgs had boldly gone online and are telling all them naming names. BFG, LBB, and BTs-23 were at the forefront as the prophets of the collapse. They warned their own church and the others would not listen. The BBC handling was a disaster. It left Tommy Davis RFPD and Mike Rinder blue. Imagine it, Mike Rinder could not handle it anymore and so he blew. This was a major fracture that, in my estimation, was the tipping point. I consider that the collapse accelerated after Rinder blew. Rinder was historical and now he is gone. The BBC exposed and conquered Scientology's sleazy fair game up against John Sweeney. Although he did not escape, John Sweeney is a hero for doing what he did. Scientology has no public face, save for the fossilized Heber Jentzsch who recently surfaced from his obscurity and confinement in the inmate's vault to sign a document as cost president. The highly damaging leaked video of the Tom Go to Guns Cruise secret cult video arguably may have ended the production of Valkyrie and perhaps even Tom Cruise's career in front of the camera. Too many leaked videos warning against Scientology are also to count. Elderly and decrepit cult attorney Elliot Abelson recently outed David Miscavige. Elliot Abelson, general counsel for the Church of Scientology. Mr. Abelson denied the actor Tom Cruise was second in command. He is a parishioner, a well-respected parishioner, but that's what he is. The only person who runs the church and makes policy decisions is David Miscavige. Contrast this with Dean's testimony in the Lisa McPherson trial. Andrew Morton's unauthorized bio of Tom Cruise was unopposed by Cruise or Koss. The sudden appearance of Anonymous staggered Scientology and left it powerless. The peaceful protests of Anonymous left Scientology shrieking that the sites or the markets were behind Anonymous. Scientology leaders denied their own human rights abuses that led to the peaceful protests. Equals Scientology's virtual loss of control on the internet. This appears to signal the fall of the House of Helena. Props to the Gawker, YouTube, etc. for standing up to the cult and making the Cobragram basically obsolete. Helena, maybe David Schindler can get you and Cam jobs over at Latham and Watkins. The DeKalb County Sheriff was exposed as a shameless cult tool. There will surely be consequences here for the lavish waste of taxpayer dollars. The desperate and outrageous Latham and Watkins letters to a nonce. Cult attorney David J. Schindler of Latham and Watkins is in the curious position of being a Jew who is defending a master race group whose founder called for a genocide. Schindler represents himself as a champion of the oppressed and yet is profitably rewarded by an oppressive and destructive cult. How does this square with his Jewish faith? The David J. Schindler story needs and deserves major media coverage. Will Anonymous prove to be Schindler's little bighorn? Will Smith in complete retreat, vehemently denying that he is a Scientologist? Other Scientology celebs are very low profile or invisible. None of the pampered celebs are out in public defending Scientology. Kirstie Alley gained back all of her weight, thus proving that Odie is a powerless sham. Rumors of David Miscavige drinking a fifth of scotch each day, this in addition to his alleged chain-smoking Camel non-filters. Compounding his alleged substance abuse are too many stories of his assault and battery of his own staff members. Will the rumors of pills come next? Mary Demas of LMD and CCH are infamy in hiding, allegedly attacked by her own church. Jenna Miscavige spoke out against her uncle and her former church. She was attacked and a recovery team harassed her and attempted to get her back into Scientology. Flagstats have reportedly nosedived at least 50%. Tom Cruise's erratic and angry behavior are said to have cost him his friendship with Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw. There are rumors of Church of Scientology hard drives that were copied by former members for their own protection against fair game. If this is true, the U.S. government offers whistleblower protection and witness protection. Scientologists hid inside of Big Blue on March 15 and ate pancakes. They were too afraid, or too unable, to confront or communicate with Anonymous. Armies of Scientology pies utterly failing in Scientology's last stand. Charges that Scientology was involved in a kidnapping of innocents in Italy. A cost video featuring phony officials was exposed by a French magazine. Cost financial files appearing on the internet. An invisible army of angry former Scientologists ready to leak. Asterisk, we have entered the debris field. As time goes forward, we will see an increasing amount of evidence that the collapse of Scientology has happened. The only question is how long David Miscavige and his inner circle can create an apparentity of existence. The money and buildings and remaining Scientologists can persist, but only as a hollow shell of what Scientology once was when it held the power of terror. Where has the money amidst the collapse? It appears that the money was defensively converted into real estate against the day when the internet breached the inner defensive perimeters of Scientology and precipitated what appears to be the final and agonizing phase of collapse.